Kush's movie review.
This week's Kush's movie review is Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, a story where the fine people of Tokyo finally realize what they can do to bring Godzilla down and make him all docile, and they deliver him a giant red chew toy. If you don't know that reference, Kong toys, they're like dog toys and they're like shaped. I could find one, but it's not my best work, but there you go. Godzilla X Kong. Tell us about it, Kush.
The new empire. Well, there isn't much of an empire at all. It's one of the fallacies of this movie.
Is Darth Vader in this?
No.
Oh, that
not even a little bit. Not even an impression with a fanboy like, check out this new Darth Vader helmet I got, bro. Like, no, that doesn't happen. No.
Maybe the sequel.
Maybe in the sequel. Maybe the next one. Maybe in part 6. It'll be fine. Godzilla.
I'm your father. How does that work?
That's how that goes down in part 6. We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I've got all my funnies out.
That was funny. I had fun with that. That was fun. Godzilla X Kong, the new empire. There's not much of an empire. Other than just PG-13. It is 1 hour and 55 minutes. It is directed and slightly written by Adam Wingard. If you don't know that name, he did Godzilla vs. Kong, which is completely different from this movie that we're talking about right now. He also did the Blair Witch reboot sequel. I think it would technically be Blair Witch 3, but still. And then another thing called The Guest. It is written by 3 other gentlemen named Jeremy, Simon, and Terry, and then stars Miss Rebecca Hall, Dan Stevens, who is the best friends with Adam Wingard, Ryan Tyree Henry, and then little girl, also known as Kaylee Hattle. Kaylee Hattle plays a girl who is, I don't know what the proper name is these days, but she's deaf. Her entire role is she speaks sign language. I don't remember if the Waffle Box podcast actually reviewed Godzilla vs. Kong. She was in that as well. We did a review for the Echo Marvel TV series, and I had a criticism, then I completely forgot about all this, where in that series, when you just keep doing this syllable by syllable, and I don't know anything about sign language, folks. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but this is the pace they're going. It does not help the flow of the movie. For some reason, the Godzilla movies, this woman and Rebecca Hall, their only dialogue is in sign language, and it does. I don't know anything about sign language, but it seems to go pretty fluidly and just it works. I don't know what the difference is between that one TV series and this set of movies, but there's a difference. So I'm terribly sorry. What do you want to know about this, Mike Fish? Because I could go in several different directions with this review. I enjoyed the movie, for those wondering.
What's it about?
It is about the 5th movie in the MonsterVerse. That is the American series of Godzilla films. This is not to be confused with Godzilla -1 that we got just last December. This is completely different, completely separate from that. Okay? This is the American version. It is part of the last 4 other movies where, again, Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla King of Monsters, Kong Skull Island, and then 2014's Godzilla, which that movie 10 years ago, by the way, this one American franchise has been going on for 10 years now, FYI. That one
Time
franchise
flies.
is completely different from today's movie. That first movie is like, we're gonna get gritty and grounded, and we're gonna talk about Fukushima, which was only 5 years ago, and we're gonna present you a real Godzilla, but we're also gonna present you with, realism. So you're not gonna see all battles. You're gonna see news footage of Godzilla, and that's how it went. And you know what? I liked it, but we've had a lot better films since then. And no disrespect to that director, but this this movie's a lot more fun. Godzilla X Kong. So
How's the art, the CGI? How do Godzilla and
oh,
Kong look?
so when Godzilla vs. Kong came out, there was a pandemic happening. And Time Warner, the folks in charge of HBO and Warner Brothers, decided we're going to release all of our movies day and date. If there's a theater open, you can go see it in the theater. Otherwise, it will be available on this app, and we hope you go to that app. Um, that fucked off a lot of people here. So, like Rebecca Hall and Henry, Brian Tyree Henry, they got screwed out of a lot of royalties that they deserved. Also, Legendary Entertainment. Yeah, any movie you've seen where a superhero or a monster is destroying a city, they're in charge of it. And what that means is Man of Steel, Pacific Rim, all five of these MonsterVerse movies, they got screwed out of some money too. So this movie was completely done because of contractual obligations and just kind of trying to make things up to people. Again, Brian Tyree Henry and Rebecca Hall probably got screwed out of some residuals. So they're like, "Well, how would you like another job for 7 days?" And they're like, "Yeah, cool." So they made this movie, and it's fun. Again, it's a lot of fun. There's there's no real story. They try to make a story. It's as important as most of the ridiculous Godzilla movies we've seen in the past, and that's just on Japan's side. It's a lot of science fiction and just nonsense. But again, you're in it. 1 hour 55 minutes. It's not long, man, and you get to see some silly shit where Godzilla like suplexes King Kong. I was all for it. It's a good time. I'm giving it a high 3 out of 5. Godzilla minus one got a 5 out of 5. Again, a lot of silly shit in this, but I had a good time. Do you need to see it in a theater? No, but you will have a great time. By the way, the highest grossing blockbuster of March. Everything else that debuted at number one made 45 million. This was projected to go around there, made 85 million.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Nice. What's the difference? Right. So before we don't give it too many spoilers away, but obviously at the end of Godzilla versus Kong,
Mhm.
or King Kong versus Godzilla, I can't remember which.
Same thing. Whatever. I know what you're talking about.
But they ended up like forming a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Yes.
why are they fighting again? Why can't they just get
So
along?
Godzilla has this thing where he senses kaijus that are active. And when one kaiju awakes, a lot of these monsters are dormant. And when one wakes up, he's like, "Oh, time to go to work." They're trying to create this whole narrative of Godzilla being a protector, but he still destroyed Italy. He still destroyed the Vatican. By the way, Vin Diesel and Tom Cruise both saved the Vatican this past summer. Godzilla destroyed that shit just walking through it.
What a
Didn't
dick.
mean to. It happened. Yeah. So they're trying to do this weird thing where Godzilla is a protector, but no, he's a goddamn menace. But also, he's like a cat. So if it if I fits, I sits, and he resides in the Roman Colosseum.
Marvelous. That's what I mean. It
Yeah.
looks like a nice. It looks comfy. If you ask me,
It really doesn't, but I get what you're saying.
looks like a nice bowl.
So it's still a fun movie, dude, but it's ridiculous as shit. Like it's weird how we went from this let's try and be gritty and grounded and real to like, oh yeah, now we're taking hovercrafts down to Middle Earth. Oh, Hollow Earth, excuse me, it's Hollow Earth. But then guess what? We discovered there's a subterranean Earth. There's a level below the level, like fish, and I'm just like, I'm like, yeah. The bad guy is an orangutan who has enslaved a bunch of other orangutans, and
Planet of the Apes.
I mean, they're still Kong size, so they're all giant monsters, but it's unclear what they're being enslaved for. Who cares? We want to see Godzilla and Kong punch this orangutan and someone else in the face. He has a backup. He has an ice dinosaur. Again, molten magma, all that stuff, and then they're protecting an ice dinosaur.
Sounds riveting.
It's fun. It is fun.
It just sounds like at this point, I don't. Maybe this movie doesn't even exist, and you're just testing me at this point. Oh, and then
and then they make this up,
and then they face a space cat. Yep. And they
some Captain Marvel
shape shifting hamster that comes in. That's next. That's
sure.
He turns himself into a goldfish.
Yeah, this feels like it was a makeup for Godzilla versus Kong. However, it's doing like 3 times what everything else did theatrically. Also, review wise, like, the critics are like, whatever. They're being critical. That's what they do. But the fans,
damn
they're loving
critics being critical.
Damn critics being critical. Yeah, that's what we do. The fans are loving this. So again, I don't think you need to see this in the theater, but go see this with a crowd. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. 3 out of 5 still.
So there you go. Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. High 3 out of 5. Go check it out.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny.